You know, what if I told you that losing your money could actually be a good thing? I know, it sounds absolutely bonkers, but in the world of Bitcoin, it's not just a possibility, it's a core feature. We're going to unpack this whole wild idea with a simple joke that, honestly, reveals a really powerful truth about how Bitcoin is designed. So, let's get into it.
All right, so just picture this, right? Bitcoin and regular old money, what we call fiat currency. They decide to play a game of hide and seek. But there's a little bit of a problem. Bitcoin just straight up refuses to play. The question is, why?
And here's the first part of the punchline. Fiat currencies, like the dollar or the euro, well, they're controlled by central banks. And if they ever get lost, or if the economy needs more, they can just, poof, print more of it. The hiding spot in this game can literally be recreated out of thin air.
But Bitcoin plays by a completely different set of rules. When a Bitcoin is lost, say someone loses their password or their hard drive, it is gone for good, forever. There's no entity on Earth who can print more to replace it. It stays hidden permanently.
Okay, so this whole hide-and-seek thing, it's not just a silly joke. It actually gets right to the heart of what makes Bitcoin Bitcoin. It perfectly highlights its scarcity, the absolute finality of its transactions, and yeah, the personal responsibility that comes with having true ownership over your money. And this is the magic number, 21 million. That is the total number of Bitcoin that will ever exist. It is an absolute, unchangeable, hard-coded limit. And that's a world away from traditional currencies that, well, can basically be created endlessly. So let's lay the game out, side by side. On one hand, you've got fiat money. It's flexible, it's controlled by big institutions, and it can always be found again, or at least replaced. And on the other hand, you've got Bitcoin. It's rigid, it's governed by pure code, and once it's hidden, it is gone for good. We're talking about two fundamentally different philosophies of what money even is.
And this brings us to a kind of dark punchline for anyone who messes up. If you lose your private keys, and you can just think of those as the one-of-a-kind, totally unrecoverable password to your Bitcoin, you've basically just made an irreversible donation to a black hole. And this isn't a bug in the system. This is the system working exactly as it was designed to. Now, this is the point where a lot of people's brains kind of short-circuit. I mean, we are so used to having a forgot password button, right? Or a customer service line to call, a safety net. But with Bitcoin, a simple user error can lead to permanent, total loss. So you have to ask, is this a massive, glaring design flaw?
And the answer, which might feel totally backward at first, is no. It's a feature. The very fact that nobody, not a bank, not a government, not even the creator of Bitcoin, can reverse your transactions or recreate your lost coins isn't a bug. It's the whole point. It is the ultimate expression of your control.
And this is what that feature gives you, true financial sovereignty. It means that you, and you alone, are in complete control of your wealth. Your ownership is guaranteed by pure mathematics, by cryptography, not by trusting some third party who could, in theory, freeze your account, devalue your savings, or just deny you access. It's about having an exit from a system you might not fully trust.
But this idea of sovereignty, it really demands a huge mental shift. You have to stop thinking like a customer of a bank and start thinking like you are the bank. You're not just holding money anymore. You are holding the full power and the full responsibility that comes with it. Now, for some people, that's a pretty scary thought, but for others, it's the definition of liberation.
So, if you're going to take on this responsibility, how do you actually do it right? Well, here are 3 absolutely critical steps. First, use a dedicated hardware wallet to store your Bitcoin. Don't just leave it on an exchange. Second, write down your seed phrase, that's your master key, usually 12 or 24 words, on something that will last, like a piece of metal. And third, and this is so important, actually test that your backup works before you put any serious amount of money on that wallet. Really, it all boils down to this one simple truth. You've probably heard the saying, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. But the other side of that coin is just as important. Your keys, your responsibility. That is the fundamental trade-off you make for true financial freedom.
And so that leaves us with this final big question.
Is a system that has absolutely no safety nets a system where a mistake means permanent loss? Is that system harsh, or is it just being brutally honest about what true absolute ownership really means? It's a question worth thinking about. Thanks for digging into this with us.